True or false? Blush should be treated like a final touch to your makeup. If your answer was yes, well, you are wrong. Blush is a whole process. It cannot be treated like a standalone product that you use. You just slap it on at the end of your makeup. If you want that baby doll smooth ombre effect to your blush, it needs to be integrated into your makeup in every step. It's a whole process, and today I'm here to show you exactly how to do that. Today is episode 6 of the Makeup Masterclass for beginners, where I take you through the entire process of doing your makeup from beginning to end, focusing on technique. Okay, I'm not here to sell you a product, I promise. There's enough of that on the internet already. I'm just here to give you technique on how to do your makeup, techniques that are easy to apply for whenever you do your makeup. Okay, so if you're a beginner, if you're somebody who feels overwhelmed by the amount of tutorials on social media, this entire series, if you follow it from beginning to end, you will have everything you need to perfect your makeup skills. That's it. I'm still going to tell you which products I'm using every step, but I'll tell you why I'm using those products, so that whenever you go out to buy products, you know exactly what you're buying and why you are buying it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let's get into it. How rude of me. I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Sheila, and I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Like I said in the intro, you should not treat your blush like a final touch to your makeup, okay? I mean, you can do whatever you want. But if you want that baby doll look, if you want that nice gradient effect from your concealer to your blush, then your blush needs to be integrated into your entire makeup routine. Right now, I have done my skin prep, I put on my foundation, I did my contour and bronzer, and we'll do concealer and blush together, and I'll explain to you why. Like I said in episode 4 of the masterclass, if you want your concealer to, last all day, and you want to have high coverage without using too much product, you want to let your concealer sit, right? So I go in with my concealer on my under eye, in the center of my forehead, and the bridge of my nose. Now, while it's sitting, we'll go in with a blush. And when it comes to blush, it's all about layers, okay? I personally like to start with cream or liquid blushes. If you have oily and combo skin, just use a liquid blush, okay? It's not going to have that super glowy effect. It's going to dry down a bit matte, or it's really not going to feel heavy on the skin. But if you have dry skin, go with a creamier blush, okay? Personally, I use a lot of powders. I use a whole lot of powder. So I like to use creamy textures, because I know even though it's going to give me a glow at first, it's all going to disappear when I put on my powder. So for blush, right now I'm very, very much obsessed with this palette from Made by Mitchell. When it comes to tools, you want to go in with a nice tapered, medium-sized brush, okay? Because it's going to stay exactly where you put it. If your brush is too big, your blush will just go everywhere. If it's too small, it will take you a lot longer to blend, right? So this is the perfect size, and the shape is nice and tapered. It's pointy at the top. It is a bit fluffy. It's not super dense, and that way the blush will blend easier into the skin. I'll mix this pale light pink color with this bright orange to get a peachy color. I like to put my blush on the back of my hand and make sure that it is nice and blended, and the goal here is to avoid any harsh lines. So you want to blend it first on the back of your hand, right? Then grab your blush and just saturate the product into the brush. You want to get the product everywhere into the brush. Make sure it's nice and saturated on the brush. That way you also get an even coat of blush into your brush, right? And again, that will help you avoid any harsh lines and make your application a lot more seamless. So you just want to start from under your eyes and blend it into your bronzer. And you want to use tapping motions, because if you sweep, it will disturb the foundation and the prep that you've done underneath, and the whole thing will look patchy and your blush will end up looking muddy. So you just want to tap softly, gently. Don't be afraid to go really under your eyes, close to your concealer. And also don't be afraid if your blush looks like it's too much. Don't worry, just trust the process. It is a process. Like I said, blush is a whole process on its own. So you want your blush to look like this. Blend it into your bronzer. Same on the other side. And you know, the good thing about liquid and cream blushes is that they really blend easily. They blend super easily. They're very easy to blend, and that's why it's so good for beginners. And we're looking really good. And also, sorry if I keep looking that side, it's because my monitor is on this side and I just want to check myself out because I look good. Period. Okay, now it's time to blend my concealer. I'll start on my chin. My forehead. When you're blending on your forehead, you really want to keep your concealer in the center of your forehead. You don't want to go all the way up into your hairline. I see a lot of people do that, but you really just want to stay in the same spot and go side to side with your sponge. Okay, it's going to blend nicely. And if you see that there's a line of demarcation between your forehead and your concealer, well, you want to go in with the brush you used to apply your foundation and go in between to blend that line. See? When you're blending your inner corner, you really just wanna keep it really light. You don't want to press too hard, okay? Be very gentle, very light. And you want to blend into the blush all the way out towards the outer corner of your eye. Do you see how the blush do you see how some of the pigmentation of the blush has reduced compared to this side? Because we blended the concealer into the blush. That's why I like to put a lot of blush at first, because I know the concealer will remove some of that color, and that's how you get that nice gradient effect. I'll bring the concealer into the side of my nose. See? Nice and seamless. And for the bridge of my nose, I'll just tap a few times to blend. That's it. This step really takes everything to the next level. Okay, this is really how you get that baby doll look. You want to grab a pink powder. I'm using the one by Huda Beauty, and it's the Ube birthday cake easy bake. Okay, grab a puff, saturate the product on the puff. Okay, remove the excess in your hand or on the back of your hand. I already have products there, so I don't want to do that there. Okay, and then you want to set the blush with the pink powder, going from the center of your eye, okay, into the outer corner of your eye, all the way to your temples. Do you see this? Yes. This is the step that really takes it to the next level. Same on the other side. Like I said, middle of the center of the eye, going all the way to the outer corner into the temples, and really cover the entire area where you applied your blush. You don't need to press too hard, okay? Be very light with your application. Otherwise, you might disturb the cream underneath into your temple. I know it looks crazy right now, but again, trust the process. Okay? Right. Now I'm going to set the areas of my face where I applied concealer with a brightening powder. I'm using Banana Bread by Huda Beauty, going from the inner corner into the outer corner, into that pink powder to really blend everything. I'll set the rest of my face and come back. This is the last step to get that baby doll effect. That's the last thing you need to do to really get that look. Right, I'm taking a highly pigmented blush. It is the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow blush in the shade 015 Cherry. I'm using a nice fluffy tapered brush. I'll tap into that blush. Now careful, it's very pigmented, so I need to remove the excess, okay? And I'm just going to sweep softly, really softly on the top of my cheeks. And I make sure to keep the long part of the brush at the front and the smaller part at the back. And that's how I apply the blush. Gentle sweeps. You don't need to be aggressive with it. Be gentle. And that's the last step. I'll finish the rest of my face and come back with the finished look. Here's the final look. Let me know what you think in the comments. And also, if you have any questions regarding this tutorial or which products I use or really anything, let me know in the comments. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If it was, well, give me a like, subscribe, and share this tutorial to your friends or whoever you think might need this. This is episode 6 of the masterclass. There are 4 more episodes coming. Next week we'll cover setting, how to set your face with powder to make sure that it lasts throughout the day and you get a beautiful finish to your makeup. And if you don't have the proper technique, you can make or break your makeup. You can really mess it up completely. So that's what next week will be about. Coming from a makeup artist with over 7 years of experience, I'm giving you tips that your average influencer will not give you. These are things that I've learned throughout the years, working on multiple skin types, skin tones, like literally everything. I've seen it all. I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I hope I'll see you next week. Until next week, stay beautiful because you were perfectly made and there's only one you.